there you have the qualifiers on your screens, the top 8. They're all drawn out of a hat. They're not in any particular order.
From Romania, Lavinia Milosevic.
And we get an introduction. The first of the 8 finalists. Individual vault final from the World Championships in Birmingham. 4th in the individual World Championships in Paris, but went on to claim gold in Barcelona, her first vault.
There we have the full twisting Yurchenko in the straight position. There we see it in slow motion. You can see a break in body form and a loss of balance. Slightly losing her legs as she thrusts from the horse. Maybe a couple of tenths deduction there.
Milisevic, who was 3rd in the qualification. Of course, no Shannon Miller, which is really very disappointing. Prepares for her second vault, 9.700 scored. She qualified with a 9.737, so she'll look to improve on the second vault.
Her first vault, a 9.8 tariff. Will she go for a higher tariff? She's gone for the handspring front somersault with half turn, done in the pike position. She has gone for the higher tariff, that vault being marked at 9.9. There we see it. Good legs in flight. Slightly loses her legs as she comes out of the flight phase. Slight bend of the knees and one slight falter in landing. Here we see good flight, good thrust, a little bit untidy on landing.
Well, Milisevic will look to do the same as Neil Thomas, who was the first competitor in the men's floor final. And put down a score which no one was the better bar the last, 9.737. The Olympic champion of Romania sets the pace for the other top 7 finalist, Elena Piskun, for Belarusia, just 15 years of age. Piskun was ahead of Milisevic in qualification.
She's gone for the 10 tariff vault. Perfect landing. That was the double twisting Yurchenko.
Well, she looks very nervous indeed, but that was a very good start. Good height and thrust off the horse.
There we have the first twist, the second twist, and well spotted. Good legs, legs together all the way through. Slightly off course. As you can see from that shot, she's slightly over to the left-hand side. Possible deduction there of 0.1, anything up to 0.3 deduction, 3/10 for deviation on landing.
9.7 the first score, and how about that, 9.837, so bar a disaster on this second vault. Piskun will take the lead from the Olympic champion, and that will be the first upset of this women's vault final.
She's gone for the same second vault of Milosevic, handspring front in the pike shape with a half turn. 9.9 tariff. Here we see it. Handspring onto the horse. Nice legs. But that step forwards on landing. Good height. Again, we see from that angle slight deviation on landing. 1/10 deduction and 1/10 deduction for her step forwards.
A little heavy in the landing. She waits very carefully and she's done enough. 9.687, but carried it off thanks to that 9.837 on the first vault. And the leaderboard change as Piskun goes into first position. 9.762. Oksana Chusovitina. Now, Chusovitina is the reserve and the replacement for Shannon Miller. All-around gold medalist choosing not to take part in this vault final. Chusovitina looking to take the lead away from the Belarusian Piskun. 9.762 aggregate leading score.
Again, we see the handspring front with a half turn in the pike shape. .9 tariff. Lacking a little bit in flight. And a 1/10 deduction for that landing. A lot of the girls choosing to do this vault, which is now quite a high tariff.
Once again, the cameras find Piskun at 9.750. It's a good start for Chusovitina. She can repeat that. Good enough to go in into first position. Second vault. So, this could be for a gold medal.
First of the Sukahara vaults we've seen here today. That was the full twisting straight Sukahara.
And let's not forget, you go back to the World Championships of 1991 in Indianapolis.
Good landing.
Chusovitina there was a silver medalist. So she's certainly got the experience. She's been in this position before. And by grace of the gods, or certainly by the grace of Shannon Miller, she is given the opportunity as the first reserve to get into this final. Has she done enough? It seems to be enough to take first position.
That vault marked out 9.8.
9.718. Well, I'm sorry, Hayley, to interrupt. I'm wrong again. Third position for Chusovitina. Gina Gogian of Romania, 15 years of age. Silver medalist in the all-around competition. Gogian certainly has the ability to steal the lead away from Piskun. Number 2 of the 8 finalists still leading.
There we see a well-executed full twisting Yurchenko. Very good leg form. And spotted that landing.
.750. So she's on target to take that first position. Just one other competitor after Gogian, Kerry Strug, but this second vault, the same point score, will put Gogian into gold medal position.
That's the handspring pike front somersault, no twists involved. Not a good landing, she won't be pleased with that. Fast approach. Oh, that's where it all went wrong. Knee down on the floor. If you watch carefully, the hands only just make the horse. Hands right down the front of the horse. She did well to get that far.
Gina Gosian, well, she'd done enough on the first, but it's the second vault that's questionable, and it's not enough. 9.687. She has gone into a fourth position. So the leaderboard, Pisquin is now still in first position, I should say. Lavina Milicevic is in second. For Kerri Strug of the United States of America, 15 years of age, one of America's youngest ever champions, looking to make amends for no Shannon Miller in this women's vault final.
There we see the 1.5 twisting, straight Yurchenko. Again, not a good landing. One twist and another half twist. Loses it on landing. Big step to the right. There's going to be a few tenths off for that. One twist. Losing the legs as well. Slight bend of the knees in second flight.
Strug of the USA prepares for her second vault. 9.775, so she's been awarded a good first point score there. Now, the second one, she can repeat that point score once again. Would be enough to put the American into gold medal position. There is Steve Nuno. Kerri Strug on for this second vault. Once again, the last finalist has the possibility to take the gold to the USA.
Handspring, top front somersault. I'm not sure that's going to be enough to take the gold. Playing safe here on the second vault with just the straight forward handspring in the top position.
Has this lady done enough to break into the silver or bronze? She's not done it at all. Fifth position, 9.662 for Kerri Strug of the United States of America, which means gold has gone to Belarusia. Yelena Pisquin, the 15-year-old, has claimed her first international and world championship medal, 9.762. Milicevic claims yet another silver, and Chusovitina the bronze, just one place less than 2 years ago in Indianapolis.
And now for the women, we go to the uneven bars, and our first competitor from Edmond, Oklahoma, Shannon Miller, who won the all-around competition here yesterday, becoming only the second American to do so. The other, of course, was Kim Zmeskal.
Shannon Miller really does not have a weak event, but this is certainly one of her best events. It is loaded with difficulty. A really nice combination coming up right here. Watch this, a full over the bar, right into a release move. She always has perfect form. Look at her legs, always straight, toes pointed. There's her second release move. And she's upgraded the difficulty of her dismount. Since Barcelona, it's a double layout and a great landing. Oh, and that put a smile on her face. During the all-around competition, she took a little hop on that landing.
Right.
And she was not happy with that, but we finally see a smile on Shannon Miller's face. She hasn't felt well all week long. Bit of a stomach virus, hadn't been able to eat, and said she was feeling very weak, but I think this gave her a boost of energy. Beautiful height on that release move, way up above the bar. And she maintains form throughout. And upgrading the dismount since Barcelona could mean the difference in the bronze medal she won there and a possible gold here. It's the most difficult dismount done in the competition.
The score for Shannon, a very solid 9.887. Coming up next on the uneven bars, 16-year-old Dominique Dawes from Silver Springs, Maryland. And now another chance for a medal right here for Dominique.
Dominique really has a nice portion of this routine. Reverse hex. Now watch this skill coming up right here. 1.5 twist pier. Oh no, she's gone over. She'll have to add another giant with a half twist, and she's right back into her routine.
Great cover up.
Very nice cover. And the good thing with all those pirouettes right in handstand, she will still get some bonus points.
Smart thinking right in the middle of that routine.
Full twisting double back. You can hear her coach tell her she just didn't quite push out enough to do the 1.5. Let's see right here. She goes up. She is supposed to do one more half pirouette, and she gets stuck. So she just swings down and does another giant, and here comes the half turn. So she's now facing the correct direction to go into this transition move down to the low bar. Look at this, right to a handstand.
And even with that cover-up, the routine had enough difficulty to still score well. Nice dismount.
You're right, Bart. Her score, a 9.8. That is good enough to put her in second place behind her teammate, Shannon Miller. Up next, one of the youngsters of the Romanian team, 14-year-old Andreea Cacovean, and she won the gold medal at the European Junior Championships in '92.
A little bit of amplitude on that reverse hex, but what I'm most impressed with, look how tight her legs are together until she caught the release move. Right as I said it, her legs separated just a little. But in all her handstand positions, they're very tight, good straight body handstand. Beautiful double layout somersault. She is so tiny, she is able to stay totally straight right there as she swings through the bottom into this beautiful double layout.
Her score, a 9.787, and that places her in third. But the American women are on a roll. Shannon Miller wins her second gold of these championships, and Dominique Dawes wins her first medal, a silver. Our next event, the women's balance beam, and our first competitor, 15-year-old Gina Gojian of Romania. She was second in the all-around competition yesterday.
Of all the competitors in the beam final, she has the lowest level of difficulty. In fact, her starting score during the all-around competition was a 9.9 because of the level of difficulty. There's a running front. Now, they've upgraded the value of that skill to a D, so we're beginning to see many more of those in competition. This is a back handspring to a layout step out into another back handspring. She's fulfilling all the basic requirements for the balance beam, but she really doesn't have enough bonus. So her routine will be scored from a 9.9, just as in the all-around. Here's her dismount pass. 2 back handsprings to a tuck double back. A very solid routine, not as difficult as routines we'll see coming up, not as risky.
Gina Gojian's score, a 9.650. Dominique Dawes, coming off a silver medal behind Shannon Miller on the uneven bars, is in a very good position to win another medal with a strong routine here on the balance beam.
Dominique has shown the least amount of stress of all the top competitors, even when she was leading after 3 events in the all-around yesterday. Just a smile on her face and doing her best. And she has an interesting opportunity here. Excellent shot at a gold medal on this event. Beautiful extension on those jumps. Here's her most difficult tumbling pass. 3 layout step outs in a row. Can't do it any better than that.
You hear the roar of the crowd. She's been a huge favorite here.
A running punch front. Beautiful landing. Little tentative on that jump, and she really needs that for her bonus. And this is a fabulous part of the routine. Back handsprings, down the beam to a full twisting double back, and just one little hop on the landing. Dominique came on so quietly here, almost no one even noticed. They remembered her from Barcelona, but she has done so well here, and it's only her 3rd major competition. She actually almost won the all-around. Beautiful pass, layout step outs, slight little knee bends, toes not quite pointed. And look at the dynamics of this. 2 back handsprings, full twist on the first somersault, pulls it around, and here's that little deduction right there, a hop backwards. Looks like she might be a little off center as well. Great opportunity to see how narrow that balance beam is.
Her score, a 9.725. That puts her in first place. What a great meet this has been for Dominique Dawes. The only gymnast who can take gold away from Dominique Dawes, Lavinia Milosevic of Romania.
Very interesting mount sequence. She first introduced that a couple of years ago in Indianapolis at the World Championships. It's interesting. Several of the gymnasts have opted to not do the 2 layout step outs in a row, but do a back handspring instead. Can still get their bonus points in the routine, and it's not as risky. Side somersault, another skill that's been upgraded in the code of points. And really not that difficult, actually. She does not have as high level difficulty as Dominique.
And she's done 2 of those movements.
She has all the necessary requirements to get her bonus points, to get the basic requirements, but none of them are that difficult.
She's playing the rule book.
And tuck double back dismount, good landing. But in my opinion, there is no way possible that routine should score as well as Dominique Dawes. But we have been surprised in this competition, so it's especially nice to see her hit this routine because she had trouble on the balance beam during the all-around competition. Here's her back handspring, layout, step out. Ordinarily, many of the gymnasts would do another layout out of that. She's opted to do a back handspring. It's easier to land, not as risky. And the side somersault. It's difficult landing because of the spot. You're not really looking at the balance beam and squaring your body up with it. But it's not that difficult. And the dismount, of course, is a double back. We saw Dominique do the full twist on the first somersault, which, of course, makes that more difficult and more risky.
Well, there was a way, Kathy. A 9.85 gives Milosevic the gold. Dominique Dawes will have to settle for silver, her second.
Milosevic's routine was certainly cleaner in terms of form, but Dominique Dawes had more difficulty. And since the new scoring system supposedly requires more difficulty, it shows it has some flaws. And the bad luck for favorite Shannon Miller and Li Li really destroyed my prediction of a great beam final, but that's how fickle beam can be.
We're ready for the final women's event, the floor exercise. And next, Natalia Bobrova, and she is one of two talented 14-year-olds representing Russia in this competition. And Kathy, we're seeing young gymnasts from the former Soviet Union much sooner now.
It would have been next to impossible for these gymnasts to make that very strong national team where there are only 6 spots available, but now they can easily make the Republic's team. Oh, a little stiff-legged on that landing. She has so much elegance, especially for such a young gymnast. Now watch this. This is her first of 2 front tumbling passes. We're seeing a lot more front tumbling because they're now worth more than they used to be. In many people's opinion, they're really too easy to count that much. Two and a half twist to a punch front. Interesting to see how all the routines are designed around the Coda point. And that's a big move in the new rules. A 1.5 twisting front somersault is an E move now for these gymnasts. And she finished her routine with that. All the skills in gymnastics are given values of A to E, A being the easiest, E the most difficult. Of course, we saw the E element at the end of the routine. This is an example of a D skill, a 2.5 twisting somersault, and then she goes right into an A skill, a front somersault, and for that combination, she gets 0.2 of a point bonus. And based on those bonus points, this routine was valued at a 10.0, and many of the routines we've seen in finals have been worth less than a 10. Really shows that she and her teammate Fabrichinova, both of the Russian Republic, represent a lot of young talent.
And her score, a 9.712, that moves her in front of Carrie Strug, but Shannon Miller still has her shot on the floor. Now on the floor, Lavinia Milosevic of Romania, the gold medalist at the 92 Olympics on this event.
And she has grown about 4 inches since the Olympics, so as she's adjusting to that, her level of difficulty is not quite as high. This is new music and new choreography. Jump double turn in the air. There's her 3 leaps in a row. Whip back through to 2.5 twist punch front. Very nice pass. She actually did even more difficulty, though, in Barcelona. twisting double back. Nice difficulty.
She upgraded her difficulty from the preliminary round.
And I really think she needed to do so in these event finals.
And she seems happy with that performance. And next up, her teammate, 15-year-old Gina Goggian. Milosevic's score was a 9.675, putting her in third place.
And look for a very different style in this routine. Opens with a very familiar pass. We've seen several of them whip back through to a full twisting double back. Whip back through to another double back. Now coming up between her second and third pass, right there, jump double turn is where she had problems in the all-around competition. She stumbled enough that they took a 0.2 point deduction and did not give her the bonus. It cost her the all-around. That had a little bit less of a stumble. So it'll be interesting to see what her score is.
She must be going for the full in.
All right. Little short on that landing, but again, going for more difficulty. And the gymnast can now receive bonus points in the dance area, whereas it used to be enough to just hit beautiful positions in the air like this. Look at the split position. Now the judges are really looking for them to upgrade the difficulty. Notice the full turn in the air, and they're being very strict in terms of giving them credit for it.
Also, in this second tumbling run, this is basically the same tumbling run we saw from Carrie Strug. But Gina has a very good ability to absorb the landing, much softer than Carrie did. Good control.
And it's very exciting to see difficult tumbling done at the end of the routine, like this full twisting double back. But she really had to work hard to get this one around. Look how she pulls that second somersault around. Almost didn't get it around.
A kiss from Milosevic, and that score of 9.737 puts her in front of Bovrova in first place. An American has never won 3 gold medals in a single world championship. Here is Shannon Miller's chance.
And Shannon put that Popa, the full twisting straddle jump, at the beginning of her routine to make sure she gets the credit. And she really got him around that time. She wants this routine to be worth a 10. Three whip back to a double twist.
Almost out of bounds.
She almost had too much energy there. Beautiful. Double turn in the air.
She seems very well composed after that disaster on the balance beam.
All she needs is a good landing on her full twisting double back. That's it. Excellent landings. Watch this first tumbling sequence. Whip back, and she goes through to a full twisting double back. In a pike position, look how straight her legs are. And a great landing. All the gymnasts are trying more difficult dance elements, but they're having a lot of trouble getting credit for them. from the judges because they're looking to make sure that all the full turns are done in the air before landing.
On this second tumbling run, watch how close she comes to going out of bounds. She does 3 whip backs, nicely done, through to a double twist, and when she steps back, you'll notice she steps right on the white tape. If she touches out of bounds, it's 1/10 of a point more deduction. Her last tumbling run was a double back with a full twist. Right there, there's the full in to the back somersault out.
Her score, a 9.787. What a competitor. Shannon Miller has come back to take the gold medal in the floor exercise. And here are the final results. Shannon Miller getting her 3rd gold of these championships.